you say to the people that literally 100% disagree with you, and they say there is racism today? It is a challenging time today. What do you say to them?
I say, look at the evidence. Look at the evidence. You know, a lot of people are like the farmer that came to the creek when it was like coming, it was 3 feet high and moving at about 20 miles an hour, and he forced the mule in and they were swept down the creek. A year later, he comes to the same crossing. This time it's only 6 inches. The mule refuses to go in because the mule had good memory but poor judgment. Conditions were not like they were back in segregation when I was locked up twice in Mississippi. The conditions have changed, but many of us have. But again, look at the evidence. When whites were at their worst, we were at our best. As I said, in 1930 to 1940, when segregation and racism was enshrined in law, blacks had the highest marriage rate of any group in society. Elderly people could walk safely in those communities without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. So let's look at the evidence. When we refused access to hotels, we built our own hotels, financed by our own means. The Wallahaji in Atlanta, the Carver and Calvert Hotel in Florida, the St. Charles in Chicago, the St. Teresa in New York. I could go on and on. When we were denied access to colleges, we built our own. And in fact, our small business formation rate was higher than whites in the 20s, and that really determines any group's participation in the economy. It is not what government does for you or what white people do. In fact, I think those who continue to push this race agenda are Eurocentric. They assume that the destiny of blacks is determined by what white people do. That has never been the case.
What's going on, everyone? It's Talks with Kenny here today, and Rob Woodson, oh my God. He finally got an opportunity to speak at a wider audience with the PBD podcast. If you guys know, I'm a big follower of the PBD. He brings on a lot of interesting guests like Roland Martin, who I disagree adamantly with. But he brought on someone that I've been following for a long time. As some of you guys know, I always recommend his books, Red, White, and Black. He's the author of that book. He's the senior editor for, I think, the Woodson Center. And he's a big proponent of what I believe the black community used to be like. They used to be, hey, let's do for ourselves. Oh, we got denied loans. Let's build our own banks. Oh, we got denied access to a hotel. Let's build our own hotel. That mindset was the reason why we have historically black colleges today. And seeing where we are now, that people who have experienced less racism than all past generations of their people complain about it the most. They complain way more about it than I think even Martin Luther King and them complained about it. And it's a sad reality to admit that for so long, black people been coddled in a way, infantilized in a way, right? You can't hold black people accountable for nothing, because the minute you hold them accountable, they're going to think you're doing it out of racism, out of spite. And I love that intro that he gave about the mule example, that the mule has strong memory but poor judgment. And I think that's what's going on with the black community today. They cannot judge the current environment and circumstances that they stand in today. Now, a lot of people may or may not realize this, but I'm a first generation American. My parents met here in America, had me, and I believe that as a first generation American, I have a more objective view of where America stands today. Because when I get in the comment section, a lot of people would like to talk about how racism is still a big problem in America. Oh, in 1996, I was denied a loan. And then when I do my research and I look, I said, okay, the Clinton administration forced 53, I think it was Chase Bank, to give loans to black people. But Chase Bank denied them loans because those black people did not meet their requirements. If I tell you the facts, statistically, black people have has a lower credit score on average compared to every other group of people in America. They also have the lowest income out of every other group in America. And also, they have a high propensity for debt, right? They have a spending problem. I ain't gonna hold you. Black people got a spending problem. So when you combine three factors, I have not even mentioned race one time. I merely use race as a means of identifying the group. If you have a low credit score, low income, and you're in high debt, you're going to be denied a loan a lot. And so happens, black people happen to have the average black person happen to have these three factors, and this is why they get the line loans. But then, the Clinton administration in 96 forced banks to give the loans to the black people. And the blacks said, fuck it, F it, have the loan. Here, we'll give you the loan for your house. We're going to charge you 9% interest, high-ass interest rates because you have a low credit score. You're seen as an untrustworthy borrower. And then what happened 12 years later, 2008, housing market crashed. And what happened to all those people that was on a loan? They got into some deep-ish. They lost a lot of wealth. They got into even bigger problems because now they have a loan they couldn't afford, lost the house, and then now they're in a bigger deficit than if you just denied them from the beginning. And those same people, I forgot who told me this story. I think it was Larry Elder. He spoke about this story. Those same people came back and said, hey, man, there should be a law forcing banks not to loan out to people who can't afford it because it causes bigger problems in the long term. And I'm going, wow, it took you personally experiencing the bad trade-off for you to recognize that the trade-off is there. Recognizing what you're putting yourself into. And this is what a lot of black people don't seem to think properly about. They don't think things in long-term perspective. They think about immediate, short-term. I want a house, but you can't afford a house. No, I want a house, but you won't be able to afford it off the law. I want a house. Black people get used to making demands, and the Democrats are the only party that's willing to give it to them, regardless of the long-term ramifications that it would affect the people. Because of their good intentions. Oh, we want everyone to have access to housing, but at what cost? And that's what black people don't seem to think as a group. And I think I saw an interesting video from, I think it was Officer Tatum, and he mentions how black people are the only group of people that focus on what other people are doing instead of focusing on what they're doing. And I think that's the biggest problem in Black America today. That's my claim. Because I'm worrying about us. Like when people get mad, oh, why are you always talking about black people? I'm like, yo, you don't see me, bro? Like, if I'm a Laker, why would I not criticize my teammates or help my team become the best team in the league? AKA, why can't I help black people be the best group in America? But instead, you want me to sit here and talk about, oh, the Atlanta Hawks, they got Trae Young. He keeps shooting threes. We don't have a good three-point shooting team. How does that help my team get better? And that's the perspective I take with the black community. How can I make my community better? For 50 years, black people have been getting this message of calling, oh, it's not your fault. It's because of racism. No. Martin Luther King already solved 90% of that. We're only dealing with 10% of the problems that Martin Luther King and them dealt with. But we're complaining a lot more than they were complaining about. They were people of action, and we're people that complains and cry with our words. We put Black Lives Matter, then you find out only 33% of the money that was donated to Black Lives Matter actually was used to help the community. The rest was used to buy Lambos, mansions. You just got hustled. But no, we're supposed to stand in cold because of our skin color. This is why I said this race pride stuff is a joke. I didn't mean to go on a monologue here, but I'm kind of tired of it at this point. The difference, and this is why I'm a conservative, because conservatives worry about their problems. They worry about their family. They worry about their community. And this is why I said there needs to be more black conservatives in the black community, because for too long, we have let the liberals, the black progressives sit here and act like they're the spokespeople for black people when most black people, in my view, are apolitical. So how they make this claim that, oh, most black people are progressives, most black people are liberal. They just happen to vote 90% Democrat. Because of people like them, because the Hollywood actors get in line and prop up these Democrat politicians. And I just made a video with Inconvenient Truths about Bidenomics and how black people are the most who are going to suffer the most out of this. Black community is the community that has 70% single motherhood. There's a claim, there's articles out there. Being single is a luxury. Because of the rising cost of inflation, it takes a higher and higher income to sustain yourself as a single person. Black community has a large percentage of the women who are single. There's 72% of kids are born out of wedlock, born to single moms. That means they're the most vulnerable in the whole country, and black people have has a large share of those people. You don't think that's weighing down the economic powers of the black community? What makes me a conservative is that I focus on human capital. I focus on my team. Hey, look, I'm Team America. But then if you want to go glandular, right? If you want to go more zoom in perspective, I'm like, yo, I'm trying to help everybody. But right now, black people need to hear this message the most. Because right now, for the past 50 years, black people have been getting a certain message, and they got used to that certain message. No one can criticize them. When they say racism is the problem, we just straight up believe them. We gave them handouts. Look at Lyndon B. Johnson, Great Society Act, and what happened? You incentivize them to be even more comfortable, even more reliant on the government. When the purpose of these welfare programs are supposed to get people to get off the government. Now, I think it's more nefarious because the Democrats get a benefit when people are dependent on welfare because they can leverage the welfare as a means to centralize votes and to guarantee votes, because that's the most important thing to a politician, guaranteed votes. But black people don't see it. I don't believe that. But hey, a lot of black people, when Robert Wilson was talking in the live chat, a lot of them kept crying. I don't know, like sometimes I agree with Umar Johnson. Umar Johnson has this quote, I forgot where I heard it from, but he talks about how Asian men work, white man control, black man complain. Or he said black man wait for God to build for him. Essentially, he makes the claim that like a lot of black men out here, they complain, they yap, but they ain't doing nothing to actually fix the situation that they're complaining about. They're sitting here waiting for someone else to do it for him, waiting for a white man to do something for him. And that's why I agree with what Robert Woodson put out in the beginning, that if you have this view that white people have to do something for you, oh wait, no, scratch that. Other group of people have to help you to fix your own problems, then your view is Eurocentric. And I love that line. I'm gonna start using that. Oh, you're Eurocentric if you think that my destiny is defined by what a white person think of me or don't think of me. And this is the problem I have. I don't know if I'm just built different. I don't know if I just have a different mindset about these things, but I have this idea that nothing can stop me. And liberals are mad, especially the white ones, because they have this savior complex. I don't believe in any saviors. I don't think anyone's going to save us. I think the era of civil rights leader is dead. No Al Sharpton, no Jesse Jackson. Black people don't need leaders like that no more. They don't need any leaders, in my view. The people themselves need to come together and realize, hey, maybe it's not a good idea voting for the same party for 50 straight years and expecting them to change when they benefit for us staying in the current situation that we're in today. That's all I'm saying, right? At least I feel like I'm more honest as a black conservative than I am with against black liberals, because black liberals, I think, are the most dishonest people in the world. They'll sit here and say that, oh, there's nothing good that can come out of the Republican Party, which is a lie. You just saw it with Trump. You had Trump, 4 years of Trump. Lowest black unemployment. Economy was doing good. How was your bank account during Trump's years? Until we got 2020 and we got hit with a freak accident called COVID. But hey, now you living under Biden. You only suffered in 3 years. Actually, year one into Biden, problems already started coming in because Biden had to get his version of the stimulus package because he saw how popular it was with the black folks. And this is why I say reparations. No one owes Black America reparations, bro. Especially this current generation. What? Y'all entitled to something that y'all never personally suffered through, and you're suffering something like light. Like if racism used to be a 90% problem in the 60s, 50s, 40s, you're only dealing with 10% problems. Racism is a minor inconvenience in your life. That's my claim. Prove me wrong. Every instance of racism someone brings up, I go, well, you behave like this. Why you wouldn't expect someone to react to you like that? You came late to class. Well, you wouldn't expect to get reprimanded for coming late into class. You're disturbing the class. Why you wouldn't expect the teacher to kick you out? Oh, but a white person did it and they didn't get kicked out. Maybe that's the first time that person did it and the teacher gave him a chance. How about your track record? Was it that the first time you disrupted class? No. Like I grew up with these people, bro. I'll be sitting in class and then they be making all this. And then when the teacher actually hold them accountable, they want to cry racism. They want to tell their mom, oh, the teacher don't like me because of my skin color. And I'm sitting here like, this is the 5th time your kid disrupted class. Your kid talk loud as hell. And when the teacher tell him something, he want to give a stanky face. He want to give attitude. And then when the teacher kick him out, he going to get mad. But when the white person do it, they disrupt the class. The white kid don't act like, he don't give attitude. He looks remorseful, sorry. And the teacher will like, okay, I'll let him stay because he feel bad about what he did. When they correct some of the black kids, they go, you're not incentivizing someone to give you a chance. You incentivize the person like, oh, you want to suck your teeth? Get out of my class. But black people want to pretend that we're angels, like we're perfect. If the only way you can think like that, like the only way you can think that every bad outcome that happened to black people is due to their skin color is you must admit to me today that black people are perfect and they can never do any wrong, which is a lie. You're human. You're fallible. So if you're fallible, then you can be held accountable. But for some reason, we don't want to put any responsibility on black people. And I think that is the biggest reason why black people are at the bottom, why black people are not succeeding in life, why black people are not flourishing in America, which is the best place to be black. Tell me a better place. Not Africa. Y'all but would already revoke your American citizenship and be over there. But you're not. You're here complaining about the best place possible to be black, where all the richest black people live here. Even if you're poor, in American standards anyway. But globally, you're at the top 1% of black people in the world and you're still complaining. If you can't succeed here, where else can you succeed at? And if you can't succeed somewhere else, why you ain't over there? But all I'm gonna hear is excuses in the comment section. But hey, you guys let me know what you're thinking in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video. I know it's been a long monologue. I'm trying something new with my videos. Let me know. Give me some feedback. You like this format? You like it or not? Or you want to keep... I will still keep the reaction videos, but let me know. And if you want to know more about how I personally think about why black people are at the bottom, here's 3 reasons why. Here's 3 internal reasons that I think is really holding black people back. If not, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.